Welcome to the Seven Figure Fundraising Podcast, the podcast where we discuss specific tactics and strategies to grow your nonprofit. I'm your host, Trevor Bragdon, and today I'm joined by Amy Ford, who is the co-founder of Embrace Grace. And Amy started Embrace Grace back in 2008 as a support group at her church to help local women who were facing an unexpected pregnancy. And she had experienced this herself with an unexpected pregnancy at 19. And when she turned to the church for support, there really wasn't anything there. So Amy set out to fix this by starting this nonprofit. And then in the last 18 years, it's really taken off. Now they're in 1,000 different churches in all 50 states. And their mission is to unite churches to support single and pregnant moms. And I got to know Amy and her husband Ryan at a training that we were doing a couple months ago. And they told me about this specific fundraising strategy they do involving Topgolf. So I wanted to get them on the show to talk about this fundraising strategy so you can learn how you can run a really top-notch Topgolf fundraiser. So welcome to the show, Amy.
Yeah, thank you for having me on, Trevor.
Well, tell us a little bit about Embrace Grace, what you guys do, and what's that like on the ground?
Yeah, so we, you mentioned 2008, that first group started. We never in a million years thought it would turn into a nonprofit, but in 2012, we had grown to 10 groups in churches for women with unexpected pregnancies, 10 churches. And that's when we kind of were like, maybe we need to make this an official thing. So 2012, we started the nonprofit. And we just want the church to be one of the first places a girl runs to instead of the last because of shame and guilt. And so we provide churches all the curriculum and the tools to walk alongside the moms, helping them get connected to community, to meeting other girls in similar situations, be discipled, be loved on. They get a baby shower as part of it. So our headquarters are here in the Dallas-Fort Worth. We're a national ministry, but we have a team that works on trying to inspire churches to start groups. We've got a team that works with the leaders, helping them along the way with starting their groups. And then we have fundraising team, and we have a marketing team that's trying to help moms get connected to the groups, but then also churches and leaders inspired to start groups at their church. So that is Embrace Grace.
That's great. And Amy, you guys have a pretty big vision for where you guys want to grow as an organization. Do you mind telling us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we are right now currently we're at about 1,250 groups in churches, and we're in all 50 states. But our vision for our organization is for every woman with an unplanned pregnancy to have a church to turn to in her local area for practical, spiritual, and emotional support. So that is the vision of what we want to accomplish as an organization. Well, we now have a number of what that is. We need 23,400 churches strategically placed around the United States in order for that vision to come true, for that vision to come to life, that every woman, whether she's in the teeniest town to a super busy populated area, that she has a church in her area that she can get to with the support system that will walk with her. So we got a big vision, and that's what we're working towards.
That's awesome. I love how specific it is. Since you've told me
it's drilled
about
in
that,
my head. It is.
I know. I keep thinking 23,400.
Right. So. Everybody needs to remember that.
Yeah, that's great. It's also like shows like figuring out the number really does help other people remember and understand the scale and scope of what you're trying to do.
Yeah, and it kind of seems like achievable. Like, we can do this. It may take a lifetime, I don't know, maybe not, but we can do this.
Right, and you're already 5% of the way there. So it's like, it's only 20x from here
to
go. So tell us a little bit about this Topgolf fundraiser, and how did you guys start this?
So one of our donors, actually at the time, this was in 2017, we had a donor come to us, and he really felt like the Lord told him to partner with us. He has a lot of influence. He has a company that has a lot of organizations that get business from him. In 2017, we just thought we wanted to do it it was already late spring. And so we just thought for the first year, we'll just try a regular golf tournament. I've never golfed in my life, so I didn't really know, even how that worked. But we did it. It was fun. It was a lot of guys. When they would come back, they kind of seemed a little tired, when you try to talk to them. And I've never been a part of golf tournament, so I don't really know how to explain it. But I mean, we raised about $60,000 that first year at the regular golf tournament. Then we're like where I'm in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and in Fort Worth that year, in 2018 or at the end of 2017, Topgolf opened. It was brand new, and you can see the Fort Worth skyline, downtown skyline. It's kind of cool. And so we had the thought of like, maybe we could try Topgolf. And I remember Trey, who underwrites our tournament, he was like, I don't know. I kind of worried about some of my friends that are super into golf. Are they going to think this is like putt-putt or something? We weren't sure. And we came to the conclusion of like, let's just try it once. If we don't like it, we can always go back to a regular golf tournament. So we tried it, and we just were blown away by the difference in atmosphere and experience. And I think that the big thing is that a lot of women came. It wasn't, and our organization, men and women both love Embrace Grace, but we do have a lot of women volunteers and leaders and things. And so having the women a part, I think, was really awesome. And plus, I just feel like sometimes when only one spouse comes, sometimes they have to go back home and then talk their spouse into like, hey, I went to this event, we should give. When if they're both there, you kind of have a little bit more momentum in it. And so we basically take the whole top floor, and which is 34 bays of Topgolf, which I was thinking it's 34 bays. I don't know if every Topgolf is the same, square footage and all that, but the Fort Worth one, there's 34. So we take the whole top floor, and that's ours. And so the atmosphere and everything was just totally different because everybody was networking together and hanging out, going bay to bay and sitting in each other's bays and getting to know each other. Really, felt like a true networking, fun experience. Some of them even brought their kids. And so we never went back to the regular golf tournament. It just took off from there.
That's great. And for listeners who don't know what Topgolf is, I realize we probably should explain that if you're not in an area. There's one like 2 miles from my house. It's enormous here in Richmond, but it's basically a driving range on multiple floors. And it's kind of like a cross between bowling and golfing. Like you have the bays set up much like a bowling lane, only instead you can drive balls from it. And then they have food and entertainment there as well. So you switched to this 2018, you go to this. What was the result that, early first year? And then what are your results now when you do these fundraisers?
So it went, the first year when we did a regular golf tournament, it was 60. And then the very next year when we switched to Topgolf, it doubled to 120. Wow. And then it just kind of started growing.
Net or gross? Huh? Was this net or gross on the fundraising?
Gross. And then it kind of grew from there, and we would kind of find more ways of, that first year we didn't have silent auction or, some of the other things. So we started growing it. But now we ran, like this year, we just had it in April, and it was $293 that we raised. So we're up to, and then I think the year before last, we were at 320 or 309. So it started, it feels like a lot for Topgolf. And even at Topgolf, they have told other organizations, like they've used us as an example, because I think we have raised more than quite a few other people that have tried Topgolf.
Right. That's amazing. Like between 250 to 300,000 just from an event. And how long are these? Like roughly kind of walk me through what the night's like.
Yeah, I think that's what the fun part of it is it's not even that long. Like everyone gets there about 6 or 6:30, and then it's over by 8:30 or so, or we're announcing the winners at 8:30. So it's not even a long event, not like golf where it's all day long.
Right.
We start promoting about 3 months in advance, and the way we do that is we do sponsor drops. We don't sell individual tickets, we sell bays. And so again, there's 34 bays, and there's 6 players to a bay. That's Topgolf's rule. You can have less, but you can't have more than 6 players to a bay. Mm-hmm. So we're working on selling those bays, and we sell them mainly to companies. There are a few individuals that are purchasing sponsorships, and they're not really tied to a company. But we sell all of them. We always sell out every year, which is really awesome. And so we do sponsor drops 3 months in advance, and usually the way we do it is like we've done cake balls that are shaped like golf balls, in a little set, and we'll have like the date, save the date, here's the pricing and tiers. We always do embracegracegolf.com. as our website specifically for the golf, which I don't know, it may be down right now because we just finished our tournament. But and so, or we've done the cake balls. We've done actually this year we did actual Embrace Grace golf balls, like a sleeve of them, but they had Embrace Grace logos on them. And we've done like the cookies that are decorated and designed. So we'll go either to all the companies or sometimes it's people's doorsteps. A lot of we're marketing to our local donors here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So if they've ever sponsored before or potential new names that we've acquired over the past year that we think that would be excited about sponsoring. So we'll spend a few days dropping those of our team, kind of spread out. The Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex is pretty big. So we've got some over on the Dallas side, some more on the Fort Worth side, and we're doing those, and those are really fun. And sometimes you get to see the people, and it's a good little touch to say hi, you're just popping in unexpected. So those go out 3 months in advance, and then over that time, people start, our team will start connecting, reaching out, hey, are you interested? Whether that's, and they get e-blasts, along the way too, about inviting people to join us there. So by the time the event comes, we sell out. Now the way we break down our sponsorships we do a 5,000, an 8,000 and a 10,000. That's how we start. Those are the three. So the lowest bay is $5,000 at Topgolf.
Wow.
Now, about a month before or 3 weeks before, we'll depending on what we have left, we'll add in a 2,500. So that kind of gets added in at the end, and then usually by the end we'll have sold all of them. And we always, everybody always wonders what our swag is. That's one of the big draws. Every player gets swag, no matter what level, but the platinum does get double if they want. And the platinum level at Topgolf, the ones on the end, again, this is Fort Worth, and I would think that they're all the same. They actually are a little bit bigger bays. They have about 4 or 5 that are slightly bigger. That's all on one side, and those we make our platinum bays. They can still only have 6 players because that's the way the Topgolf program works. But they can have more people just hanging out at the bay. Because some people want to come, but they don't really want to play. They just want to hang out. And so we sold about 6 platinums at $10,000 each. So that was $60,000 just in 6 bays. And then they have the extra swag. So our swag is kind of a big thing. Everybody always wants to know, like, what is the swag this year going to be? We really throughout the year try to watch for like things that are trending or what things people are really excited about. And usually the men have something separate than what the women have. Also, Trey, who underwrites our golf tournament, he's so funny. He actually is very stylish, very in the know, and so he has opinions about what our swag is. So we usually do some research, find some ideas that's in our price point. For us, we try for $100 as our cost for the swag. Because we're buying in bulk, there's 34 bays and 6 people to a bay. That's a little over 200 people. So we'll be doing a large order. So a lot of times companies will work with us and give us almost like a wholesale discount or a discount that we can order in bulk. And so a lot of times the value, even though we paid $100 for whatever the item is, the value could be closer to $200, $250. And so we have done, for women, Minky Couture blankets. I didn't know what that was, but apparently it's a very big deal. We've had custom pickleball paddles with Stanley Cups. That was kind of when the Stanley Cups were super popular. We've had, one time we had a Kendra Scott color bar that was there out on the patio. And so if you don't know what the color bar is basically like you got to pick 2 pieces, either a necklace and an earrings or 2 necklaces, and then they have all these colors of jewels and they make it right there in front of you. And so you pick that. That's what the women had, and the guys had Maui Jim sunglasses, and actually a rep flew out from Maui Jim and had a whole display where had mirrors so they can actually get it right there in real time. We've had Martin Dingman shoes. They were great to work with. Martin Dingman is the man that started Cole Haan. But then Cole Haan, he ended up selling to Nike, but then decided to do it all over again and started Martin Dingman. And it's a Christian-owned company. It's really awesome. So they fly someone out, and they have a huge display of all these really cool man shoes. Like, I know my husband, he says they're some of the best shoes he's ever had. So they have like dress shoes, or they have tennis shoes, like kind of like the trendy, dressier type tennis shoes. And so they get to pick it out, try them on, in real time, and then it gets shipped to them after the fact. This year, the men had steak kits. So from Good Ranchers, that one isn't anything that we could have at the event, because obviously it's right there. We didn't have a freezer full, we don't have enough,
Sure.
But it got shipped to them afterwards. And then women got lake pajamas. And that one actually was a little bit unique, because lake pajamas apparently are a very big thing. So it's like a whole pajama, 3-piece set, pants, short shirt. But it all got shipped to our office. And so everyone had to come pick up their swag after the fact, which gave us anybody that was new, had not seen our ministry, they got to get a tour and hear about Embrace Grace. So it brought them to our office for a pickup. So there's like good things and bad things about, like, I think it is fun when it feels more of experience if the rep is there at the event and they're in real time getting to be a part. But then there's also some benefits of them coming by the office and having to get it after the fact, and it allows you to have another touch with your donors. So swag is always like it's an important part of, I believe, with Embrace Grace, because everybody just gets excited about what it might be. And then, so that usually whenever we do the sponsor drop, sometimes we know by then what it is. Sometimes we haven't quite decided, but we really use that as our, like, hey, guess what it is this year, as we're texting or whatever, asking people to sponsor. So I think that's a big draw. And because it's not like something that just has your logo on it, just stuff that people aren't going to use, what I'm talking about, like,
right,
just random merch, like it's
right. Another tumbler,
another
in
koozie
your drawer, right, yeah. That has someone else's
right.
logo on it.
Exactly.
So for listeners who are kind of a little surprised that you would spend $100 per person, or, $20,000 or more on this sort of swag, explain the thought behind it. Like, you've done a great job. I think you've sort of explained this already, but you're very intentional about this. People look forward to it. But why did you start with having nice merchandise or swag? And then what does it do about getting people to come back?
You know what? I actually was just looking today, right before we recorded this, because I figured you might ask me. I would look to see, last one we did this year, how many repeats and how many new sponsorships that we got. And we had, there's 34 bays. So we had 30 returns and 4 new.
Wow.
So I believe it really is, like, it just makes it more of an experience. Like, you're not just going to a fundraising event. There's activity that's happening the whole 2 hours, that there's things that's happening. And so I think it just adds to what that experience is. Yes, it costs more money, but yet we are having great return rates. And we have an underwriter that funds it, and he's okay with that. And he knows that, he's a business guy. Like, he knows that it draws people. And honestly, he goes to a ton of fundraisers, and he's a big donor of ours. And so he knows, like, what donors like and what could set it apart to not just be a basic fundraising event that kind of looks the same as the rest. We really want to try to create an experience for everyone.
And would you recommend, for someone starting out, they like this idea, they're kind of listening to this, thinking about doing it, would you recommend they go to one of their major donors and ask them to underwrite, or one or two, to sort of get the ball rolling on this?
I would say so. We have a store where we buy a lot of, where we have like merch and t-shirts and stuff. And so the t-shirt company that we buy all of our merch from for the Topgolf tournament prints free t-shirts for us for all the staff. So we all have a custom, our tournament's called the Help Her Be Brave tournament, sponsored by Anchor Partners. And Anchor Partners is our underwriter, and literally it's on our t-shirts, it's on every email that goes out, every post on social media. Our underwriter is very much a part, like he's a part of our kickoff at the event where we speak at the beginning. He's a part of the appeal when we ask for money at the end. Like he is very much in this with us. We say it's annual and he keeps doing it again, which I'm really thankful for because it's been since 2017 and he's still, we skipped a COVID year, but other than that, he's still a part of it. So I see that there can be a benefit. And there's so many companies that are a part of it. I think that he likes to see that it has good numbers, like the return of what he invests and then what we raise is really awesome. And that's not even counting like the donors that he's brought that now have become repeat donors that have become a part of it just because he makes it. I mean, he actually even goes bay to bay, introduces himself to anyone that's new. Like he works it like it's his event as well. And so I get that you probably need the right personality type, sure, for a donor that would want to underwrite it. But if you have a donor that has a company or even a personality that likes to network and know people, it's a great place to do it.
So Amy, tell us about the numbers behind it. How much does this cost? I know this donor underwrites this whole thing, but like how much does it cost? And then what's driving the big costs beyond the merchandise?
Yeah, so the whole event cost a little over $50,000. That covers the food. Topgolf, we usually do a Mexican theme, so we have like fajitas. We've done this like so many times. It's nice, it's like plug and play, And so like t-shirts, like I said, are free. We do a big balloon photo station have a balloon company that comes out and makes really awesome one. They kind of put them out throughout the top. Then we have the swag and some of the printed materials that go along with it, a few pull-up banners that we have with the sponsors. But other than that's pretty much it. And just the Topgolf fee, that they have. But so it costs a little over $50,000. This past year, I was looking at the breakdown. So we raised $293 this year in April. Wow. 222 of the 293 is sponsorships. So the main part of the Topgolf is sponsorships. We had 54 in donations, 54,000, and then we had 17,000 in silent auction. It took a while to build the donation part because it can be just fun atmosphere, busy, loud. Not everyone gives. We had some donations that came in of like, oh, we really wanted to be there. We can't be this year. We're out of town. Here's $10,000. So we would count that as part of it because they're giving because of the tournament. Really, sponsorships is the main way that drives the what we raise, and then the silent auction. I think that it really gets to a place of like, how much more could you raise? I don't know that you could do a whole, because we're always like, how do we do better? And
sure,
it is Topgolf, like I don't know that there could be better unless we really amped the silent auction, because I do think our people they like the stuff. I don't know if it's just this area, Dallas, people will be buying stuff.
That's great. You mentioned like 20% or so of the people donate who come to the bays, but the companies themselves are donating, or whoever, the family or whoever's the sponsor of that bay. Do you feel like you get, or have you tracked like the past 3 years, people who came to one of your Topgolf events, then are they donors now? Have you guys looked at that at all?
No, we needed, not officially on paper, but I will say that through this event, we for sure have gotten a lot of new donors from this event. People that they have never heard of us before, but the company invited them, whether they were connected as an employee or something else. But we definitely have gotten new names through this event that have either turned into leaders, leading a group, or donors donating for sure through it.
And my second question to that, because that's really interesting, and also like it's an easy ask, right? Mm-hmm. You think about like all these different ways you support a nonprofit, you want your friend to, inviting them to go golf, hit some balls for a few hours is a really easy ask for somebody. So that's a great way to...
And to think like, so say they got invited by their boss or someone, and they're like all of a sudden here, they get to play for free, they got free food, and now they're getting swag. It's like you kind of just feel like, wow, I probably should donate. I got a lot out of this, and it was fun, and what a great cause, So I think people feel compelled to.
Yeah, that's great. And have you guys ever increased the sponsorship rates, like how much you charge per bay?
No, we've always just had the 10,000, and because Topgolf only has 5 or 6 premium bigger bays, we just even sell out at one point. I think that's kind of the max. Like, I would feel weird for charging more at Topgolf.
Yeah, so it seems like your pricing's really dialed in on this. It'd be interesting to test whether you could get like one $25,000 like top tier bay.
Yeah, I got to think of something cool.
Push that upper level a little bit.
Maybe.
So if someone's listening to this, they think this is a great idea. They have a Topgolf in their area. They want to try this out. First step, talk to a donor about underwriting, or a couple donors. Like maybe you ask 3 to each kick in $15,000 to underwrite this thing. Can you be like sort of tactical and just walk us through the night, sort of, well, maybe even before that? You talked about when you reach out to sponsors, but like how early do the invites go out, and then walk us through what a night's like?
Yeah, the invites are about 3 months in advance, and then me and Trey will film 2 videos in advance, where it's one that goes out in all our pre-emails inviting people to sponsor, and then we film another one that goes out the day of the event, and it's just like, hey, can't wait to see you tonight. Our goal is to raise $250,000. We know we can do it. We can't wait to connect with you. All of that. That'll be texted to them the day of with their bay numbers. And then if for some reason they didn't give us their names, they also, once they get there, can also like figure out with our team what their bay number is. So they go find their bay, they get situated. We have a bay host that greets them, tells them, they kind of already know, like if they've been connected to Embrace Grace or not. Tell them, hey, we're gonna do a kickoff here at 6:30. So if they get there a little bit before, sometimes they like to practice swing or, whatever, but the game officially will start at 6:30. But it'll be right after Trey and Amy pray over the event and kick everything off with prayer. We're so excited. This is what Embrace Grace is. This is what we do. If you're new here, we'd love to meet you, all of that. And we pray over the food, tell them about the food stations are going to be set up here shortly. And then the game starts. And so we also usually do pay a little extra for Topgolf to do something called a longest drive. And so it's just, you could pay extra where they have, you could do 1 or 2 longest drive, like they're like pros, I guess. And they, and honestly, I can't remember how much it is they pay, but they go bay to bay during the event, and they're like, hey, you feeling lucky, you can pay to play and do a longest drive. And so they'll go all through the bays and do that. And then someone wins. There's a winner that's announced at the very end. So that's kind of happening, that breaks up the monotony of just playing, that we have this Topgolf that goes bay to, person that goes bay to bay. And then the swag kind of breaks it up again if there's an experience in that. Everyone's just talking with each other. Throughout the evening, we have the DJ, or not the DJ, the MC that's like saying, hey, if there's a silent auction item that's like really getting a lot of momentum, or maybe no one's bid on it and it is a really good deal, like he'll kind of keep things going. And then at about 8:15, me and Trey will do an appeal, and we will talk about what our goal is again. We'd really love your support, and you can fill out your card. It's kind of instructions on that, where we want our vision and all of that. So we do that. Right after that, we start announcing the winners. And so we announce the winners of the Topgolf tournament, but then also the winners of the silent auction items. And so we kind of give warnings, ahead of time, like, hey, it's going to close in a couple minutes, and that they can go to the balcony to pick up their silent auction item. And then the winners come to the balcony, and then we have like these big, first place, second place, third place boards that has their name on it. And we take pictures with them, and then that gets posted online. And then it's over, and everyone just seems like everybody kind of stays, for a while, because they just all love the company. The bays seem to be networking with each other. They look on the board to see who all's there, if any of their friends are there, because we have so many repeats. It's like a lot of them get to know each other through this event. So it goes by so fast, but it's so fun.
And how long is it exactly? Is it 2.5 hours?
Yeah, it's 2 hours, but we have people come a little ahead of time so that they can hear our spiel
Gotcha.
and all of that. Yeah.
Okay, so you start at 6:30, they start golfing around 7, it's all wrapped up by 9.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, excellent. All right, well, this has been super helpful, and I know we're near time. What advice would you give a nonprofit leader thinking about doing this? Obviously they probably need to sell it internally, sell it to their board. What kind of advice would you give them on trying this for the first time?
I would just be thinking through like how to make it experience and to make it so that it can be a place where people can network and mingle. And if you have a Topgolf in your area, I definitely think if you're trying to decide between a regular golf tournament or Topgolf, this just really sets it apart as something unique where the whole family can get involved and not just the husband or, the guy that's going to go golf with his buddies. It's something a little unique and different.
Yeah, and it's what I like about it too is so confined. Like it's a short time period. It's not a huge commitment, so you can bring in lots of new people. One last final technical question. How long in advance do you book your Topgolf? Like the day you're doing it? And does the night of the week seem to matter to folks?
We definitely, we always try to do it on a Thursday. And just cause so it doesn't get into there's always going to be something, but, we try to do it in the spring, but before graduations and all of that starts. And we book it usually at the end of the year. So like the fourth quarter of the year before is when we book it. And usually that's not really an issue. Our biggest issue is to make sure it's a date that works with the donor that funds it, because he's a busy guy that travels a lot. So I was doing this probably February or March. Some of people were like, we've already allotted, if it was a company, they're like, we've already allotted all of the silent auction items that we give for the year. So it's like, okay, well maybe then I should start the year before, at least putting requests out there in case they're doing their allotment for the next year, they can add us into it. So we may be starting that to really think about how we can increase our value in silent auction items. We're going to try to start the year before. So we'll see how that goes. We can maybe grow it.
That's great. Well, I love all these ideas, and I think this can be really helpful to listeners. Where can people find out more about you, Embrace Grace, your book?
Yeah, if you go to embracegrace.com, it has all the information about what we do, about how you can get involved in the movement, how you can get a group activated at your church, even if you're not the one that's leading it. If you know someone that would want to lead it, all the information is on embracegrace.com. Or if you know a young mom that is experiencing an unplanned pregnancy or a young single mom, we have a big group directory on our website at embracegrace.com where you can put in your zip code and all the churches that have Embrace Grace groups, and you can help a mom get connected to a group near you. So everything lives there. And my book, Help Her Be Brave, also is at embracegrace.com or Amazon.
That's great. Well, thanks for being on the show, Amy. This has been a lot of fun and really fascinating learning about this Topgolf experience. And I'm sure people are going to get a lot out of this. And hopefully there'll be a few more around America because of your episodes. So
yeah, hey, you know what? Topgolf needs to promote this. This can bring him some business.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening. To learn more about seven-figure fundraising and our training, visit sevenfigurefundraising.com. Finally, if there's one person you know would benefit from hearing this episode, please take a minute and share it with them. Thanks.